Hello, today is July 4th, 2026. Happy Independence Day if you're in the US. Today, I spent a few minutes, and similar to yesterday, I used the Black Moon astrology cards here to look at what we should be focused on for this reading. And the first card that I got here, I think maybe worth noting, Gemini was on the bottom. These cards have, all the zodiacs, all the main planets in the solar system here, and a few other cards related to astrology. Gemini is where we currently have the planet Mars. We currently have the planet Uranus. And those are some pretty notable placements, as well as I think a conjunction. That's a conjunction. Mars was also, I think, squaring Pluto today, if I'm not mistaken. And it was definitely talking about, I was reading about Uranus and Mars today, and the planet of disruption here in same sign. But maybe that becomes relevant. I don't know. I was reading about that a little bit today. Not something that I really spent a lot of time on, but it could come up with Uranus being the planet of surprises. So there could be some surprises in store for us today, and with Mars in the mix, related to our action, related to our passions. Potentially some anger could surface from that, something maybe we could just be aware of. But the card that I pulled for today's reading is, surprise, surprise, the 10th house. The 10th house in the birth chart has to do with... It's so funny, I was just talking about this a minute ago with my wife, when we were talking about how it's it's the top of the birth chart. It's the highest level that you can go. Excuse me. I'm sorry if I'm a little congested today. I think being back in my normal climate from the previous travel has me a little bit throat congested. But the 10th house is to do with how we show up in the world. And it is about, a lot of the times it has to do with our career, but especially if your midheaven happens to be in the 10th house, which it usually is, but most common placement for the midheaven is the 10th house there. So it might be important today for you to review your individual birth chart and spend a little time getting to know what's in the 10th house, if you don't know already. But this definitely could be it's clearly going to be the theme of the reading, and I think something that has already been kind of the theme of the readings. So continuation of that. I wanted a little more about that card, just to see, well, what's going to be really different from this one to what we were already reading about in the last few days. And so the clarifier here is the Aquarius card. And Aquarius talks about knowing the future, in a way, being ahead of the game. These, if you have Aquarius placements, or if you know someone who's Aquarius, you might be familiar with this sort of like alien persona that Aquarians, they have. They're known for it. It's, it's like they're from another planet, another time even. Sometimes I I always think of Aquarius as someone who's very, very out. How do I say this? This is an outgoing, not afraid to make a connection in the community. But, you know, what you might know about Aquarius people is that they can be a little detached, and they're very broad focused individuals. If you have Aquarius placements, especially if one of your big three is there, then you might have that trait yourself. Very, very much someone who is able to see that future plan. And so I think these two cards going kind of along with what we have been talking about, this sense of knowing on what we're being called to do, which is how we show up in the world. So we'll start that 6:06 on the clock, and we'll see what comes up in the tarot. I'm gonna use the same cards I used yesterday. I was really happy in that reading yesterday. That was really exciting to see the the mirror of the cards, the mirror image of the cards. Really cool. Eight of Swords on the bottom. 10 of Swords on the split. I'm sorry, 10 of Wands. I'm sorry about that. 10 of Wands on the split there. Still, maybe it's still a lack of action yet. Maybe feeling the burden of this calling that we've been talking about. Maybe still going inward right now. That's okay if you're still going inward. We talked about that, going inward to shine outward. That's perfectly fine. Okay. All right. 10th house in Aquarius themes today. What does Spirit want to tell us today? Okay. First one here, Seven of Wands. Maintaining a boundary, but having the higher ground. Here. I'm going to spend a little time on it before I go to the next. Seven of Wands energy. It's definitely being, like I said, you have higher ground. This can be, this can be a little bit of the challenge. Others coming for your position, standing your ground, holding a line, but clearly being at the top here. So if there is a sense of doubt, which we'll see if that's the case, if there's a sense of doubt, know that you do have the high ground here. Interesting. Already something really positive. Okay, here we have two. 10 of Swords. I said 10 of Swords earlier, but I meant 10 of Wands. What I saw was 10 of Wands. We do have 10 of Swords now. King of Pentacles reverse. 10 of Swords in reverse. So the image here is, we've had some very challenging times, clearly, but it's time to release these swords that have been stuck in us. Time to release this energy. This is This is the energy that keeps us held down, stuck in the ground, pinned to the ground. But here we can release this. Whatever this is, if this was another person, if this was your own doubts and fears, let this go. King of Pentacles in reverse. There's a star here. We have, King of Pentacles can be very grounded, very fruitful. It's like this, I want to call it a laurel. I don't know if that's what this is. It's kind of like maybe even like a flower lei. Like a lei that you get when you come off the plane to Hawaii. Maybe why Hawaii came up just now, I don't know. I don't know if that's significant. I've never been to Hawaii. But that's kind of what this reminds me of a little bit. But in reverse, not willing to accept comfort, perhaps. I'm going to read about the King of Pentacles. Focusing too much on outward wealth and status. Is that what's holding you back? Whatever you're being called to do is bigger than wealth and status. Interesting. Yeah. It's bigger than wealth and status. Whatever this is, don't focus on that too much. And upright, excuse me again. In upright, it would be hard for life to get any better for this King Crow. His savvy skill earned him an abundance of riches, and he lives a most luxurious life. His heart is pure gold, and with wings outstretched, he shares all that he has accumulated, from material possessions to his acquired knowledge. That was the Hermit energy from yesterday. Acquired knowledge. He is always ready to help those around him reach their potential. The King of Pentacles brings the message to live a life of determination, grace, and a good heart. In doing so, you will too find yourself living an abundant life. So there's some blocking here from the abundance of Jupiter that we were talking about in the last couple of readings. This blockage, and it could be focus on too much on the material side. This is kind of the contradiction sometimes in manifestation, right? Is we want something so badly that it's the only thing that we focus on, and maybe we forget to focus on the other things in our lives, the things that are already in our lives, and not just what we're calling in. So you have to make space for the blessing to land in your life. You have to be ready for it. Yes, you do have to be focused on it, but you have to be focused on what you already have at the same time. And this is the Gemini, the lesson of Gemini. And we're in Cancer season now, but we, last month, right before the solstice, Gemini very much brings a lesson, has brought us a lesson of these two maybe seemingly opposing ideas. And so in this type of practice, sometimes we have to integrate the oppositions, especially in astrology. Astrology has a lot to do with oppositions and working with the energy of contradiction. Whenever it's a full moon, it's the moon that opposes the sun, which makes the moonlight full. And that means that whatever sign the sun and the moon are in opposition to each other. It spotlights both energies. Both can be true at the same time. And that's the wisdom of Gemini. And so talking about manifestation and talking about calling in abundance, if you're so focused on the pentacles that are your money, your status, yes, the career, but we can't be solely focused on that. We have to be focused on the good of heart that it talks about. It says he's always ready to help those around him reach their potential and live a life of determination, grace, and a good heart. So that materialism, the abundance that comes from your manifestation needs to be balanced with a good heart, pure intention, right? This could be what's blocking you right now. We can clarify that, but those two came out together. Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups. That's your blessing. That's your blessing that's on the way. Your cup is ready to overflow. It's ready to overflow here. I think these are lotus flowers. We have sun energy. Sun energy. Sun is currently in Cancer. Staring into the cup, analyzing your blessing maybe. Are you over analyzing this blessing? Look at how it runs over. Look at how it helps the flowers to grow. Sharing your wisdom, helping others grow. I'm not sure. This feels like there feels like a lack of happiness about this today. A lack of acceptance over it. Or maybe there's almost a resentment that it's not showing up the way you want it to yet. Reverse King of Pentacles. Okay, the moon. We got the moon again. And we have it in reverse today. The moon in reverse. So this is a daily regiment practice. And when we're talking about going inward, that's an everyday. And I know that, we don't always have, we have to make time. We have to make time for those things. But whatever it is, in any small way, 10 minutes. 10 minutes is all it takes for a short minute, a short 10 minutes of meditation to go inward. Remember the cage. The bird in the cage. What illusions, what shadows are clouding your mind about this, clouding your heart? I can tell you, my friends, whoever you are watching this, that I'm sorry you're going through this. It's also okay to have the doubts, to have the fears. That is completely normal. That's completely normal. We all have them, so don't beat yourself up over it either. Just remember that, the shadows are not defining you. They don't define you, and the shadows are the things about ourselves that we just haven't integrated yet, that we just haven't brought to the light yet. They are a part of us. We just need to bring them into the light. They wouldn't be shadows if we put the light on them, right? And we don't have to be afraid of that process. I think so many of us stop because we're afraid of what we might confront. It's you. It's just yourself. And whatever journey you're on, spiritual, if you're on a spiritual journey, it's gonna put you in touch with yourself, and it will bring things that might surprise you, but I think the fear is that, when we have these shadows, a lot of the times we have a resentment towards ourselves or to the events in our lives that created them, those traumas, the people in our lives that didn't help in those situations, maybe even cause them. There can be resentments there, and it can be very scary to have to confront that, but when you do that, you feel a sense of love for yourself. After that confrontation, after that initial confrontation, there's a sense of love. I mean, the moon in reverse. Yes, it's time for the light. It's time for the light. I'm really drawn to this one today, right now, with the sun energy behind it. The sun can be very beneficial in shadow work. I was really scared of shadow work. I was really scared of it. If I heard the word shadow, confront your shadows, do shadow work, get a shadow journal, whatever. I have a shadow deck, actually. And when I got it, I was so terrified of it. I was like, oh my God, this is scary. And didn't really want to mess with it. Didn't really want to do any of it. I was so scared of it. And my experience was work with the sun and balance, right? I know this isn't the sun, but balance. We keep talking about balance. Gemini, the opposition, right? I was just talking about the sun opposing the moon when it's a full moon. Work with the sun energy to help you integrate. And don't think of them as bad things. I know we call them shadows, and that sounds really scary, but don't think of it as a bad thing. Work with the sun. Work with the sun energy to help you integrate. Oh. Okay, I think I think we're done with this row. Anything else for the top row? Okay, we're done with this row. I'll clarify some things. I'm going to clarify the Seven of Wands, the defensive position, and holding a position. What do we need to know about that? Ace of Wands. Is it time to come off the perch? To go and, are you holding on to something that's no longer serving with you? A position that's no longer serving you? Are you maintaining a position just for the sake of ego? And so the fact that you're not right, so the fact that you don't have to admit that maybe you might be wrong. Seven of Wands can be that. You do have, I feel you're in the higher ground. I feel whatever it is higher ground. But maybe it's just a waste of your energy. That even could be it too. You might be right. You might be right about this position. But maybe it's just wasting your energy here. Maybe in another timeline you would be happy to be at the top. But you're not. This was the first card told me you're decent energy, but these following cards, this one's a really good card, but I know there are no bad cards, but what I'm saying is there's this energy, it seems a little, you seem confused today. Back and forth energy, but maybe this position just no longer worth it for you. Are you complacent here? Because Ace of Wands is about inspiration, divine inspiration, and maybe it's time for you to come off your cliff and take wing somewhere else where you can be inspired, where you can live your inspirations, where you can live your dreams. Because remember, we're reading about the 10th house. We're reading about the 10th house. We're reading about the inner knowing, the Aquarius future knowing, in fact. So maybe you've had a vision of this. Maybe you've dreamed of this. Whether it was a daydream or a night dream, whatever kind of dream. I'm really clearing my throat a lot today. I don't know if it's my throat chakra or your throat chakra. We're kind of on a similar journey though. So I will give you that, you know. Okay, King of Pentacles and 10 of Swords comes out with the 10 of Cups. The 10 of Cups keeps coming out. But it is in reverse. It's in reverse today. This is clearly blocked. This is clearly blocked. Your happiness, I talked about this a couple of times already. This, I can't see the future. You can see the future. Remember? You have a vision of the future. You know. You know what it is that you want. But maybe you're too focused on the how and the what ifs, the outcomes, the materials that you'll need, maybe that you'll have to sacrifice, getting down off of a position that's no longer serving you, leaving a position no longer serving you. And by position, I don't necessarily mean a job position, but it could be. This energy is available to you. 10 of Cups is your blessing. Is Ace of Cups fulfillment. Ace of Cups fulfillment. I recommend spending some time in the sun. It's a beautiful day here. I hope it's a beautiful day where you are. If it's not yet, try to get some sun time. Next time you have a nice sunny day and you can make some time to go to a park or spend some time in nature. If you have a yard or a patio or something like that, I would highly recommend spending some time with the sun. You know, the solstice just happened, summer solstice, and that's a really potent energy. And so we can still work with the sun this time of year. It's still very long days for this time of year if you're in the northern hemisphere. Very long days still. I recommend it if you can. Even if you're not in the northern hemisphere, make some time for the sun. Go out when it's peaking, right? When it's at the, what is it called? There's a word for it. Meridian. The meridian, I think, is the word. Go when it's at the highest peak. To tap into this energy. Let's unblock this energy. You have a lot of blockage here. It's okay. It's okay. It's normal. It's normal. Heart chakra, right? Work with the heart chakra. Sun in Leo. Oh my gosh, not Sun in Leo. Jupiter in Leo. Sun in Leo is happening. It's happening. I did my calendar yesterday, so I was looking ahead at everything for the month of July. So it's happening. It is right around the corner. I have a lot of Leo energy at that. Well, we'll have some more Leo energy at that time. Some things will move. Some things will, be in other signs by then. But not Jupiter. We can still work with that energy. Let's clarify Ace of Cups here. Clarify Ace of Cups. Knight of Swords. Swift action. It's there. Maybe you're feeling stagnant. This one's not in reverse, so maybe you're trying to plan. Maybe you're afraid to go too fast. This is a canary, I think. I was thinking about this card earlier, and I was thinking the yellow bird. I think that's a canary. And this might be a blue jay. I'm pretty sure this is some kind of a jay. Blue jay, canary. Listen to the inner knowing when you move. Whatever speed it is, remember, you can take it slow. You have time yesterday. Take it slow because you have time, but I'm not sure why you feel like you need to wait. Because it's not going to be perfect yet. It doesn't need to be perfect. And then, by the way, it's never going to be perfect. That doesn't exist. Perfection is an illusion that when we chase perfection, we always end up disappointed. There's no such thing as that. We continue getting the same cards over and over here. So I guess this is the same person's message. My message too. Okay, clarify the moon in reverse. Ouch. Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords. Didn't we have that one yesterday too? Pretty sure we did. Queen of Swords in reverse. Oh, not in reverse. Why did I say that? He's clarifying the moon in reverse. Okay. Queen of Swords is confident, independent, and wise. Quick-witted, sharp intellect, and a clear vision for what the future should look like. She has garnered the respect of all those around her. Being able to see the big picture. We talked about that yesterday. When the Queen of Swords pays a visit, it may indicate a time when a stern, well-calculated, and sensible solution is required. She may also appear as a mentor or teacher who inspires the best work from her students. The Queen of Swords cards denotes a time when an impartial view is required to make the best decision. These are the same two cards from yesterday. So in this card, when we were talking about the moon, we were talking about how the shadows are not something to be scared of. And so having an impartial view of yourself might be helpful here to help you out of this perfectionism. I feel like I want to tell you more here, if I can tell you anything else. Is there any other advice that we can give the viewer here? Any other advice? No, I'm sorry. Right now, this is it. This is the message. It's time to wake up. Sorry if that sounds harsh. I don't mean it harsh. But it's time to get real. Get real with yourself. I say that with love. I really mean it. If that comes off as harsh, stern, maybe. And here we are. But take it if it resonates. If you're struggling, take a step back. Close your eyes for about 10 minutes. Breathe in and out. Count backwards from 100. Do it 3 times. That's a really, really easy technique if you have any problem meditating. If you're good at meditating, I encourage you to do it if you're not already doing it regularly. Take that baby step if you don't do it already. I really encourage you to take some time. And when you go inward, you can have a little more perspective here. Uranus, shift in perspective. Uranus, Gemini, shift in perspective today. Conjuncting Mars, which is your action planet. I hope I'm saying that right. I'm pretty sure it's a conjunction. The planet of action. You have some duality, things that need to be integrated, things that need a spotlight on them. Yesterday I left the video and I meant to say a few more words and I forgot, kind of. I wasn't really sure until after the video ended that I should have said a few more words, and so if I may take the opportunity, I said thank you, for being here, and I want to say that again. Thank you again for being here. But I also want to say a few words of encouragement to you. You got this. You got this. Whatever it is that you want to go after, however it is that you want to show up in the world, when it's aligned, when it's for your highest good, you got this. You can do it. You have the support. Aquarius talks about having friends to support you. We had that in the reading yesterday. Collaborators, the 3 of Pentacles. You may not have a group right now. If you do, lucky you, and please cherish them. Your friends, the ones that support you, they are invaluable. And if you don't have that yet, you can call that in. You absolutely can. But remember that you can support yourself here too. Spirit has support of your divine calling, whatever that is. And right now, maybe it is unclear. Maybe you're not sure. Maybe what I said before wasn't resonating with you. Maybe you don't know what it is yet. And if you don't know what it is yet, spend some time trying to get to know it. Go inward. Go inward to shine outward. That's kind of the theme for this year, I think. Maybe, I don't know the timeline. Any other word of advice? I'm asking again. No, we're done. We're done. You got this, and thank you for, it's not easy to hold the faith sometimes, but believe me that it is worth it. So hold on to your faith. If you're struggling, let your swords loose here, and remember, this doesn't define you. Whatever this is, look at the bigger picture. The king and the queen, they can see the bigger picture. It's also not just about the materials. It's about your energy. Remember, wasting of energy potentially. I know I don't know you, but, sending you love here. Sending you love because I understand here that this can be a difficult crossroads. But you got this. You got this. I'll see you soon. We'll have more advice. And thank you again